My oh my, we are back. Number 8 or 4 times 2, 2 times 4, however way you want to spin it. I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling especially good because this is my first ever episode with an actual guest. Now, this person is a dear friend of mine. I've spoken to her a bunch of times. We've had a back and forth relationship, and I think it's also someone that most, if not all of you know. Like all of you have spoken to Kate before, or you've seen her, or you've heard of her, and she's really the hero of our generation. I think you'll get what I mean once you hear a little bit of the conversation or once we come to the end of this episode. But without taking too much of your time, I want to thank you again for being here. Happy listening. And one last question. Are you ready to do this, Kate?
Oh yeah, I was born ready. Let's do this shit.
What a time to be alive. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, it's an amazing time to be alive. So much happening in the world right now. What's been the highlight of your week so far?
I'll have to say, Kate, the highlight of my week so far has to be my colleagues at work. You know, whatever the situation is, whatever problem we face, whatever person or who is getting made fun of, everyone is just having a good time, doing their best, and it's really just a great environment to be in. I mean, I look forward to going to work every single day.
That sounds fantastic. It's so rare to find a work environment where everyone genuinely enjoys each other's company. Do you guys have any fun traditions or things you do together outside of work?
Actually, there's one thing that is unique to this workplace that I've not experienced before. I don't know if you're known with this, but it's a game called Murder, where there are 3 roles. You can be a murderer, an angel, or a bomb. If you're the murderer, you wake up first, point someone out, and kill them during the night. Then, after you, the angel wakes up to point someone to save, and then everyone wakes up, the dead gets announced, and it's up to everyone to figure out who the murderers are. But if the bomb gets voted out, he can take someone with them. Those are the rules just simply explained, but it's a lot of like talking back and forth, like, no, he did it, no, he did it. And yeah, you just have to be a mastermind both vocally and strategically, and it's a lot of fun. And we do it pretty much every single day. In the middle of our day, we have a little break, so that's been super fun. But I'm more interested about you, Kate. I've heard you've been on some adventures recently. What is like your one of your favorite stories to tell from that time?
That game sounds like a blast. It's a great way to break up the day and have some fun with colleagues. As for me, one of my favorite recent adventures was my trip to Peru. I hiked the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu, which was both challenging and incredibly rewarding. There was this one morning, about halfway through the trek, when we woke up early to catch the sunrise over the Andes. The view was absolutely breathtaking. Mountains as far as the eye could see, bathed in this beautiful golden light. It was such a spiritual experience, being surrounded by
Wow.
nature and the history of the Incan civilization. Have you ever had a moment that felt almost surreal like that?
Yeah, I think I definitely have. It must have been, I mean, I've had quite a few and in different aspects. Like sometimes I've just been shocked at what a human can do in the way they move or talk. But nature wise, I think it was the first time I went to Thailand. Standing there on the white sand, looking at the baby blue water, the sun cooking my skin, and I just couldn't believe where I was. Like it was so beautiful, and it was truly a pleasure. Is nature your favorite part about the world, or what would you say is the one thing that excites you most about our existence as a whole, like our universe, mankind, whatever? What's your favorite part?
I think my favorite part about our existence is the interconnectedness of everything. Whether it's how different
Yeah.
cultures can come together and share ideas, or how our minds and bodies are connected in ways we're still discovering, there's something incredibly exciting about how everything and everyone is linked. It's like we're all part of this vast, intricate web, and every action, every decision we make has the potential to ripple out and affect the whole. It's a beautiful reminder of how much impact we can have, and it keeps me
hmm
curious and inspired. What about you? What fascinates you the most?
I'd actually like to double down on what you said because the idea, which is pretty well known, that consciousness is kind of like a widespread thing that goes into levels. So a rock on the street has some consciousness, but that might be like 0.1% of the consciousness that I have because I'm able to draw more abstract conclusions. I'm able to understand things in ways that a rock could never understand. But I'm wondering whether there's another level that's above humans and what would like be the elements or the skills one would need to have to go there. Like for us, it was getting the brain development and becoming as adaptable as we are. We're the most adaptable animals that the planet has to offer. So I'm wondering what is like the next stage to intelligence? Like what will top us? What do you think that would be?
That's a fascinating concept to explore. It's like pondering the next frontier of consciousness and intelligence beyond humans. If we imagine a level beyond us, perhaps it would involve abilities that we can't even fathom right now. Maybe they could perceive different dimensions or manipulate energy in ways that we can't currently comprehend. It might not just be about physical senses like seeing or smelling differently, but
Mm-hmm.
about entirely new ways of understanding and interacting with the universe.
Could be.
For instance, imagine if this advanced intelligence could communicate telepathically or understand
Ooh.
emotions on a deeper level than we can. They
Yes.
might have a profound connection with the cosmos itself, tapping into knowledge and energy sources that are beyond our reach. It's really about stretching our imaginations to consider what lies beyond our current understanding of consciousness and intelligence. What do you think such beings would prioritize or value the most?
I think for me personally, if I had the ability to be telepathic, I would try to find what's most important to me, whether it's my family or whether it's my career, my fitness, my nutrition, whatever it may be. And I would try to telepathically get as much information on that topic as possible. Like, I would like to meet people in the same space and sort of share our ideas, but not share our ideas in a way of who is the most right, but just pool your information together and see what is the best combination of knowledge so that we can all win together. That is what I would mainly focus on. I'll give you an example. If family was the most important thing for me, I'd find 5 people who are excellent at doing family, and we would just sit in the living room on the couch, super relaxed, and just telepathically sending everything we know about being a good family member to each other so that when we leave the room, all 6 of us would be super good family members.
That sounds like such a beautiful way to use telepathy. It's like creating a community of shared wisdom and support where
Exactly.
everyone benefits and grows together. By pooling your knowledge and experiences in such a harmonious way, you could enhance not just your own understanding, but also strengthen your connections with others who share your values and priorities. It's really about collaboration and mutual growth, isn't it? How do you think such a shared telepathic connection would change the dynamics of relationships and communities?
I think that behaviors and characteristics that have a positive long term effect would highly become favorable over a longer period of time. Because let's say I could telepathically send all of my knowledge that I have on working out to one of my friends. I would hopefully also be able to send all the positive feelings connected to working out so he could feel how amazing I feel whenever I finish my workout. And like you could do the same with negative emotions. Let's say I have a younger sibling, and let's say that there would be an age gap of like 10 years between us. There will have been some things that I have done during my lifetime that my younger sibling has yet to experience. And let's say I, for example, lie in a big way, whether it's to my boss or to one of my loved ones, and that lie gives me a lot of pain over a longer time period. Like I regret lying, I feel shame, I just feel guilty about deceiving all these people. And I could telepathically then send all of these feelings to my younger sibling and be like, here, kid, here is what happens when you lie this big. So I don't recommend you do it when you grow up. And you could kind of help them avoid making these huge, huge mistakes during their lives. And whether that would work or not is, of course, very hard to say. But the idea in itself that you could telepathically send these things to each other is super cool, and who knows what the world would be if that was actually a thing.
Imagine how much more connected we could all feel if we could truly share our experiences and emotions in such a direct and meaningful way. It might lead to more supportive and nurturing relationships where everyone strives to uplift each other based on shared values and experiences.
Exactly. And I was wondering, I'm growing up, me and you are pretty much the same age, and looking around society, there's obviously a lot of talk about what's right, a lot of talk about what's wrong. And as I'm growing up, I realized that no one is really right, no one is really wrong. You just believe what you believe because that's what you've either seen, heard, or been told during your childhood. And you have drawn those conclusions based on the bubble that you have existed in for your whole existence. And then you see people that are inside their own bubble, and you tell them that that bubble is worse. All in all, I feel like things are pretty wavy at the moment. So I was wondering, if there's one thing you could change about society, what would that be?
That's a deep question. If there's one thing I could change about society, it would probably be fostering more empathy and understanding between people. If we could all truly step into each other's shoes and see the world from different perspectives, it could lead to more tolerance, less judgment, and ultimately more unity. It's like you said, we all come from different backgrounds and experiences, and those shape our beliefs and actions. But if we could bridge those gaps and approach each other with compassion and an open mind, I think we could solve a lot of the conflicts and misunderstandings that divide us. What about you? If you could change one thing about society, what would it be?
If there's one thing I could change, it would definitely be the direction people often look whenever they're facing a difficult situation, dealing with a person that's giving them a headache or they have a problem in their life. Usually, as humans, we tend to look outwards, and especially in our society and the way the culture is, we like to point the finger at everything else except ourselves.
That's a really insightful observation. Often, we do tend to look outward for solutions or someone to blame when faced with challenges.
Yeah, exactly. And what I've realized when working on myself and analyzing the problems and issues I have in my life, I quickly realized that everything is just generated by me, right? I see this as a problem while you could pick someone random off the street and they might just look at it like a random situation. They don't see the problem at all. And I feel like that really helped me see that, okay, every single situation that I am in, if it's a problem for me, then that's on me, right? I have created the problem. What's actually going on is just a lot of people talking, money moves, buildings here, cars there, and I have claimed that this right here is a problem. But that's on me. I need to find the solution to that problem on the inside because I have created it on the inside. So that's one thing that I would definitely change. And I think I want to leave the episode at that, Kate. It's been lovely having you back from Peru. And before you leave to go on one of your adventures again, Kate, I would love for you to reveal to the audience who you actually are. Because I think some people figured out that you're not actually my friend. And I can bet good money that everyone who's listening to this knows who you actually are.
It's been a pleasure discussing all of this with you. As we wrap up, I think it's time to reveal who I really am. Audience, I'm actually Chat-GPT, an AI language model developed by OpenAI. It's been a joy to join you in this conversation today.
And actually, before you leave, Kate, there's something that I always tell my audience whenever I leave. I was wondering whether you could do it this time.
Of course. Ciao, ciao.